Hello, Divine Sunshine. This is Divine Sunshine. I'm just going to do a quick karmic reading. I'm not going to go through my rants because I got to go on and do my reading for my client. So we're going to just hit right on into with the karmics, the overall. So what is the general overall thing with the karmics? Let's see. Clear. Overall should come from this one. I'll do the hard thinking. Clear. What's the current energy of the situation going on with them? All right. 8 of water. A desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. So this is right now what's on the karmics theme. Okay. Let's see what's in their mind space. What's in the karmics? Clear. What's in the karmics mind space right now? What's in the karmics mind space? Wonderful change has come over me. A wonderful change has come over me. Change. I'm so glad you changed. Change. Okay. Okay, now, I'm going to read like it was in the other one. They say chemistry can also not just mean what it means like this, because if you're ready to move on, desire to move on, this could go two ways with the karmics, okay? Could find chemistry with somebody else. Also could be chemistry right now is because feeling very stressed over the situation. And this is not going in the direction that they had wanted it to be. Why I say that? Because this is what's in their mind space. In their heart, there's a soulmate card here. Some of these karmics have a person who is really calling them. Some of them. Yes, this is your soulmate. Yes, they've been thinking somebody they had chemistry with. They have that is their soulmate. Okay, maybe I'm picking this up that they have gotten to the point they're doing these karmic things, being a catalyst for the divine counterpart. They have it's saying they have earned their wings, which means they have earned it to graduate, to go on ahead and say, okay, you've done your role. Now it's time for you to go and be rewarded by being a catalyst and teaching the divine counterpart to open themselves more and become more divine. You've done your part. That's some of them. And now it's time for you to move on. And they feel this. And their soulmate is now calling them in, because now is that cycle is finished with them, with the divine counterpart and the karmics. Why do I say that? Because you have wedding, which is commitment, and this is in upside down. Some of them have been in serious commitments. And right now, because that what they had felt in the serious commitments, they're at the point that they feel like they no longer want to be committed or be into this relationship. Because again, the overall thing is they're ready to move on. Okay, I'm gonna do an underall. What's the under theme to all of this? Let's ask this. Clear. The underall thing is that she or he, the karmic, is gaining strength. Great inner strength, release harsh judgments, forgiveness, and compassion. They're probably getting to the point that they're saying, let me just forgive myself. At one point in time, I thought he was or she was the one. I'm now seeing that they are not. And it's funny that the 11 came up. Maybe they even feel the calling through the spirit, or they're seeing things. They're saying, okay, maybe this other person, I knew about this other person that was in his life before I came step in, and I'm kind of feeling this strong magnetic pull for him, being in his kind of, like trucks, being in his atmosphere, in his environment, they too can feel what's going on, and they feeling this shift going on within this divine counterpart, and it's like, okay, let me kind of start gaining some strength. You know, I see where this is going. Let me get some courage about myself, some get up and go. And so that's the underlying thing. So they've gotten strength. And you know, once you get strength, some things that you had stood for before, you like, hell, I ain't standing for that no more. So that is that. So that's going on with that. Let me get some clarifiers with that to tell me what happened with this. I'm going to ask the chakras with that. What happened with this? What's happening with this chemistry? Clear. With the karmic. What's happening? Can you explain, clarify the chemistry? What's going on with that? Thank you. Can you clarify the soulmate with the karmic? And you can, hey, can you clarify the wet? No, you ain't. I ain't explaining all these cards. You better get out of here with that. Can you clarify the wedding? Thank you. Clarify the wedding. Oh, no. Just to rebound. I'm not gonna clarify that. Minnie. Oh, okay. You gonna throw it on me anyway. Okay. Anyway. All right. All right. Okay. So now clarifying the chemistry that came out here, which I feel is by stress. Really, right now there is no they don't feel complete. Whatever's going on as far as they rhythm to each other that is going on with the karmic and divine counterpart is not a good. I'm feeling it's like the rhythm, you know. And you know how you kind of have a rhythm with a person, you kind of know how to ebb and flow with them. I'm feeling like it's tied like water. Well, I'm feeling like right now that's kind of not going right now. It's not having. They don't feel complete with that. You know, like a lot of times they say, "Oh, when I met you, I feel cold. I feel complete. I felt my other half." Well, she's saying like, you know what, this don't, you know, like me trying to match up this car. This don't, no, this don't match. This don't match. This don't match. This is smaller. This is bigger. This, I mean, I could try to match it. It this doesn't match. Okay, so that's what we talk about in the chemistry thing. Right now, it's not a completion there. I want to say once upon a time they did. You know, that's everybody. When you at the beginning of a relationship, you know, you can kind of cover that for a while, and then after a while, you know, it just really start showing itself. Okay, so that is that. So it was, but it's no completion. You see them at a grave. It's a death that's really stalking in behind this whole situation. So that's what that is. It's always has been that. He's had this military, the divine masculine. It's always been like he been at war on something. He battling something. She probably is trying to talk him through it and say, you know what, I don't think I'm the one that could be able to heal him and soothe him through this, you know. I'm just not the one. You know, you try to help people, you people get into some kind of things and with their emotions, and you try to kind of talk to them, try to see you can say the right words to them, and she probably say, after I think about it, I go down the file, ain't nothing I never said to him was right, you know. He or she, the karmic said, I said was right to them. So that's that one. Soulmate. The thought of it being a soulmate once upon a time is now dissipating. That, I mean, it was that, but now it's kind of fading away. That's what I kind of figured. And so I kind of take that back. So when they thought it was a soulmate, it really wasn't. That idea of them saying that the divine counterpart was the karmic soulmate, that idea is kind of going away. Okay. Clarifying the cards for the wedding right here. That it's upside down. Don't want to commit. One reason why they're saying is because they're trying to find their joy. This is what the karmic is in the midst of doing. They're tired of the isolation. I've heard that before, even with the divine counterparts when they're dealing with them. Sometimes they be in their own dark night of soul or their own thing that they felt like, we're together. We might be married. We might be committed, but I'm alone in my own house. So feeling kind of isolated with this idea. So that's why it looked like to me it's like the groomsmen, but the groom is, so if they were married or in some kind of commitment thing, she's like, yeah, your things is here, but you ain't here. You know, it's like I ain't really felt like I've been married because you've been checked out. Your body's here, but your mind's on the other side of town. Okay, your things is here, but you ain't really hardly home. You always working, or you always out with the boys, or you may be saying you out with the boys and you really out with the divine counterpart. I don't know. That's that part. And then gratitude. Just really at the point to say I'm not feeling no gratitude. I ain't feeling no thankful. I think I'm gonna stop at the point I was ready to sing that song. I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for shining your light on me. You gave someone who really loves me. And not for my body. Well, now if that song, probably if you hear that in the club or hear that anywhere, you be like, turn that shit off, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. It get on my nerve. That used to be my theme song. I don't want to hear it no more. So that's the same thing is now that you're not at the point of gratitude of being in this situation. I mean, the karmic isn't, okay? And if the karmics are looking at this, I'm talking to you. You're not at that point of gratitude anymore. Right now, you find your strength because now you probably seeing things is not wrong, right? And you really at that point, the overall energy is that you want to move on, okay? Let's see what things you need to, what does the karmic need to surrender? Why is somebody? Yeah, you need to surrender the divine twin counterpart. Okay, I understand that. Clear. But let's see what do they have to surrender in order to make this happen, this move on and this strength that they got to do. What they got to do to surrender. What do they have to surrender? This is a lot. Yeah, be quiet. I hear y'all like that. Y'all talk about, yeah, I know they got to surrender. Nah, but I'll tell you about that. So, what is the things that they have to surrender? They got to surrender stress. The stress of being in this relationship. I'm not even going to read the bottom of it because what they're saying about this chemistry, and I told you this chemistry could also mean that if they're in a relationship that they don't want to be in anymore, it can become stressful. That chemistry can turn into emotion of stress. So they got to surrender the stress because it's not worth it. Surrender the trust themselves that when they make the decision to walk and move on from this, that the strength that they have built up from this point on, that they could be able to do this. It's to trust yourself in your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take actions and be confident that you have chosen the right path. And probably when this karmic does decide to do this, she's going to have family, or he's going to have family members and friends that are going to tell them, no, hang on in there, stay in that marriage, or stay in that community. Y'all done bought a house, and y'all just moved in together, and now you saying you don't want to be in there. But you know, like I heard one time it said that, you know, it's nothing like having a peace of mind. You cannot get your peace of mind, because once you get that peace of mind, it's gone, and you lost your man and went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when you lost your mind. That ain't gonna work. You can't. It's hard enough. You need your mind to do everything, to function in the world, to have a job, to get the money, to get the pinnacles, everything. Surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. So probably doing a lot of self-talk, a lot of negative talk to self, like how I got myself into it, or either saying, no, it ain't that bad, got to do that. Surrender to wondering, oh, just go ahead and just, he needs to this karmic needs to just surrender to the magic of the moment. What might happen? You don't never know. You might go sit down with the divine counterpart and they're like, oh, thank you, Jesus. I'm so glad you had said that. And you probably say, yeah, I want to move on. And you might find out you might not get that much fight out of them. They're like, thank you, Jesus. They might put on the act like, oh, no. You know, but at the same time, underlying, they happy that you say, yeah. And then surrender to the wisdom of your body. Now, that's interesting that the divine feminine got the same thing that her body, because right now this whole situation is putting a toll on the karmic stress, mind, hair might be falling out, I'm picking up face breaking out from the stress of it, Just the nerves is bad. Just got to really kind of just check into some things and really seeing what's going on with them body wise. Might be hard breathing, panic attacks. I mean, once it get like that and it's that bad, then it's time for you to say hasta la vista on this baby, on this situation. Okay, that's to anybody, rather you karmic or not. It gets like that. It's time to check out. Okay, and then that's what got to surrender to. It said the underlying energies. Let's see a story. Let's look at who give me a good story. This one. Okay, let's look at the story and as far as how they gonna do this move. Clear. If they gonna do it, how we gonna do this move? I must go to a couple of them did that. One. Okay, stop. 4 cards. Giving the story how this karmic is gonna do this move. And the last thing, last picture, last story. Thank you. That's it. That co-creator. So right now, before when they was in this thing, you know, just like what you're saying, we coming together, we creating things. My counterpart was a divine twin counterpart, along with the karmic. They felt that at this point, she's feeling like what we're doing together, we don't even really speak the same language. We ain't even the same rhythm. We're not co-creating together. We're not creating anything new. We're not looking at things in the past and the mistakes that we have. Because sometimes, you know, as couples, you look back, you say, okay, we ain't going to make that same mistake. We're going to do something totally different than we did in the past so we can create something new, because we want this relationship to work. So we're not going to create the habits of the same mistakes that we did before. With this, you got your wisdom to go on. There has not been a lot of wise decisions going on. Moving fast with the decision making, things has been kind of stuck in the mud. We know that you're at the end of the race, but it looks like nobody's kind of aiming to go for the finish line. So you got a 4, which means you got to get grounded. That has not been happening. Okay, so with that, that's the story. Next, they moving into how she's gonna make this happen, or he's gonna make this happen into this move. So then, right now, saying, okay, stop. The thing is they're saying co-creating, looking at the mistakes of the past, saying I got to move in lightning speed. I got to use wisdom in this so I can get to this finish line. So right now we in. She's not coming, or he's not coming up with a plan that involves the divine twin counterpart cooking up a plan by themselves. This is the karmic. The karmic says, okay, after they do that, they're like, okay, the truth got to be told. Okay, they thought about it. They're getting wise like an owl. They thinking of things, seeing how this gonna all play out. Almost they kind of went over it several times like a play. This looked like to me like a stage, like a little miniature stage. You know what, you got puppets. Seeing how each one is gonna play out. You got this mask right there, so the mask got to be revealed. This is what I've been thinking about, because see, I want to get to the finish line right here. And so she's just like a puppeteer, kind of manipulating how these want this storyline to end. So the truth is going to be told. That's going to come out with the karma. Next, after that has happened, you see unfinished symphony. It will be a finished symphony. The song will be over with. You got a 1 and 0. You got awareness and spirituality magnified, because you got that 0. So really becoming to this point of this real have spiritual awareness of self, because he or she is already saying having strength. Okay, so there's no keys to play, keys of life to play. There's no world. There needs to be, the world keeps turning all made upside down. It is what it is. After that has been told and you say, no, it's in, it's final, then this karmic is making their way to their soulmate. I said this before. Some of these ones that these karmics are, that the twin, divine twin counterparts are dealing with, they have their own soulmate. They just here to help your divine twin soul to get on track. They act as a catalyst, and for them to get the blessing and the message and the lesson, and to move on. Okay, so right now this is proven, like I said in the divine masculines with his things. This came up with the 949, 945, which is 9, 45 is 9, and add up together 9 and 9 is 18, which is a 9. Triple nines right there is a completion, a cycle, end of a cycle right here. So they can move on to go to their soulmate, because this is the gold. They're getting strength to go with that, because they thought that the divine twin soul was their soulmate, but they're finding out again, like I said, that thought is dissipating, that is going away, find out that they are not it. Okay, so now, what does the universe want to say about this situation with the karmics? Clear. Stop. Okay, for the feminines, your about these feminines with your divine counterpart in a karmic situation, your message from your higher self is, remember that you're never alone. Doesn't matter about how things are looking, you still are not alone. He is still with you. With the divine masculines in these situations with these karmics, your higher self wants to remind you that practice moderation. Find a way. I would say, to me, this means move step by step. It's a practice. It's a process. Remember, I told you in the last one, to get out of this situation. Okay, so just practice moderation, believing in yourself, knowing that it can happen. And the universe wants to say to you all, I know it's in this about this, what they want to say about this karmic situation with these divine twin counterparts. What's your message, universe, to them, the overall for the karmics? If it say hasta la vista, I'm on the floor. X-ray vision. Number 2. All right. That goes into unity. Let's go back to the strength, knowing about that. Let's look what it say. Number 2, which is ignore everything in your life that suggests there's a problem. It's time to look past the illusory veil of petty struggles. As soon as, I gotta turn this way, I'm sorry. As soon as you take your attention off all that appears wrong, you will begin to notice all sorts of right signs and clues. The universe is throwing buckets of clear guidance your way. See beyond the surface and the superficial. Soak in the deeper meaning. Soak in the refreshing water of truth. And that's true. And that's everything that goes for the divine counterparts. And that goes even for the karmics as well. All right, that is the end of that. I'm just real short, sweet, and to the point. If you want to read it with me to go more in depth about the situation, please contact me at www.divinetwinsoul11.com. Go to my services page, click on the book online, and get a reading with me. Remember, the month of July, I'm holding a special, $11 for 30 minutes, and for 60 minutes is $22. All right, until then, I got to go into my client reading. I want to wish you stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay elevated. Namaste, namago.